There we go. A little more than 24 hours away from our season opener versus the Los Angeles Chargers. We are here with our walkthrough and a special guest. It all goes down next on Hammers House.
The United States are strongly encouraged to shelter in place to avoid being attacked or taken hostage. To shelter in place, take the following precautions. Close all windows and doors, and all lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday and welcome to the official, the original, the only house for Las Vegas Raiders news, rumors, updates, and reactions. Welcome to Hammers House. Hope everybody's having a great day. I've already see people coming on in, so let's do a quick roll call before I bring in my guest. Van City Raider, Thor, what's good, brother? James, Mason Blue, the head of Mount Shieldmore Security, LV Maximus, Stephen Williams, GA Patriot, Sinister. Salute to each and every single one of y'all. Y'all know the routine. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell for all your Raiders content. If you are on the outside looking in and cannot seem to figure out why you can't be in the chat, it's because you're not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. That's the number one rule. Doesn't cost you a dime. Before I go any further, let me introduce my guest, longtime friend. He covers the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Oakland A's, and unfortunately, the LA Chargers, which is why he's here today as we do our walkthrough preview together. Without any further ado, from Spotlight Sports Network, it is Jake the Snake Silva, king and head of the Snake Sports Talk Show. Hey, buddy.
What's going on, man? I'm glad to be up here talking our week one rivalry matchup, man. It doesn't get any better than this because you know that this game is definitely a revenge game for sure.
A lot of people look at it that way, but I still think we beat that ass. Guys, go easy on Jake. He's already gotten it from the Raider Nation in Vegas when we were there for the draft. So take it easy on him today. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Thoughts, all that fun stuff. Feel free to ask away. We're going into this game tomorrow. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling absolutely hyped up, man. First and foremost, football season's officially back. We had gotten a chance to kind of see a little bit of a quote-unquote Super Bowl preview between the Bills and Rams on Thursday. And unfortunately, the Rams couldn't even pull it off in Los Angeles. So, but the Bills do look tough themselves. So to me, going into week one, knowing you got the Raiders and Chargers, probably one of the best rivalry matchups as well in the NFL, as of what we saw from last season in the last game of the year. I'm excited about this one because the fact of both teams now are completely reshaped. So there's a lot to look forward to. Raiders having Devontae Adams now, a true number one. The Chargers, after being close to last in their defense, that's completely reshaped and upgraded. So there's a lot to look forward to in this week.
Look, I know we both have made upgrades on our respective teams, but there's other things to think about going into tomorrow. You do have J.C. Jackson right now, who is listed as doubtful. A couple of days ago, he was out of the walking boot, and they said he was day-to-day, but at this point, he's doubtful. So not planning on seeing him on the field suited up tomorrow. You got Khalil Mack, whatever. But you guys defensively gave up the third most rushing yards in the league last year. And
Yeah.
our team is a running back by committee. Josh McDaniels' scheme of offense, you're going to see, especially against a defense like you guys had previously, probably going to see a lot of running tomorrow. And Nation, don't be surprised if you see Josh McDaniels start to use Zeus White a little bit tomorrow and start to showcase himself for the future.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? That was kind of the scheme that a lot of teams, even if they were great by the running back committee or they were not, it was one of the biggest struggles that the Chargers had to go through from last season. But this year has completely shaped up during the whole entirety of the offseason. Plus, too, there's been some eye openers as well from the preseason that the Chargers have seen. First and foremost, through the offseason, they started to upgrade, getting another edge tandem next to Joey Bosa, which, of course, he's back in the AFC West, and that's Khalil Mack, who cannot wait to cause Mack attacks for Derek Carr, especially when you got that offensive line that I'm a little questionable about outside of Colton Miller. But as far as that goes, they go and upgrade and getting Sebastian Joseph Day. They go and get Austin Johnson, who I believe is an underrated D lineman that they got from the Giants that I think could really be a huge force for this team. Plus, they ended up getting Morgan Fox from the Carolina Panthers, who also is very used to the defensive schematics that Brandon Staley put together in 2020 with the Rams. And he got the best out of Morgan Fox through that year. And plus, two, the Chargers did not end up picking up Jerry Tillery's fifth-year option, which means he's got to either be that run stopper or they're going to have to draft or maybe possibly get somebody out of free agency. So Jerry Tillery right now is on the hot seat. He needs to get himself going this year. But I think after what we saw from last year, this entire D-line has completely upgraded. I'm excited to see how Sebastian Joseph Day really works out because I have said before, and it kind of sucks because I wish the Chargers would have been able to get Justin Jones back on an extension because I thought late in the season he looked phenomenal. Like he looked like a run stopper. But it's a new kind of look for the Chargers. They want to get better up on defense. I'm completely optimistic as well because I know how it is for Charger fans. There's times where we have good days and times where we just have heartbreakers. But we've had a time where we had the number one offense and defense in the same year, and we still haven't been able to make the playoffs. So I'm keeping the hype to at least an extent because I personally want to see results. If they're stopping Josh Jacobs and Zamir White for at least by like maybe 3 yards or less, that to me tells me that D line has completely fixed itself from what we saw last season.
You also have to take into consideration, at least for the Raiders, it's just not them. You have Jacobs, you have Bolden, you have Amir Abdullah, you have Britton Brown, you have Zeus White. It's another thing where I understand the scheme. I'm excited to see what these guys can do. But also, I did look at some game film earlier this week in regards to your guys' secondary. And that passing defense is somewhat exposed in certain occasions. They love to run that too high safety set. And if you run the right things, you can run go routes, you can run post routes. You will leave one of those safeties on an island and split second turns his hips. He turns his hips too late. It's a wrap. Like I saw the game between the Chargers and the Patriots last year just because it was Josh McDaniels' offense. And it was definitely an eye opener. So there's various schemes and various things that we can do offensively to legitimately expose the Chargers offense. People are so high on them. I saw some article or some chart. I think it was during the Bills Rams game that the Chargers are second favorites to win the Super Bowl. I don't see that happening. Like reality, I do not see that happening, especially not this year. Granted, Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback. He's going into his third year. We broke down his stats one of the last lives we did in regards to his record against the Chargers. And Derek Carr's record against, Herbert against the Raiders and Carr against the Chargers. Carr is 8-8. Again, Herbert's young. He's 2-2. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a very, very exciting game. But there's a lot of new pieces that we all are looking forward to for both teams. And it's just a matter of going through the 60 minutes and seeing what the possibilities are and who ends up walking out on top. It'll most likely be us, but that's just me.
All right. Here it comes. See, this is what happens. The Raider Nation, man, there are times where they want to sprinkle out that silver and lack dust everywhere up and around, man. It happens. But hey, this is why I love rivalries majority of the time, because this is always the opportunity where the smack talk begins. But the real talking is what's going to be out on the football field. So that's why I'm excited about it. I'm interested to see how the Raiders will really match up their D line against a little bit of a new look offensive line for the Chargers as well, after they had drafted Zion Johnson to really fill in that guard position that Odeyabushi ended up playing before he ended up tearing his ACL, and now he's going to be out for the entirety of the year. No team has signed him. I personally would have wished the Chargers could have re-signed him, but after hearing the severity of the ACL tear, I would say just take the whole year off. Just at the very least, rest yourself up and get yourself back to 110% form. Because I do think there were some spurts he was really good as a shutdown guy. He provided the protection for Justin Herbert to throw. The other part is, thank God, but Trey Pipkins ended up winning the tackle role over Storm Norton. I think that was the biggest letdown for the Chargers in that last game of the season, because Storm Norton was just getting beat left and right, and it was driving me nuts. But Trey Pipkins, he'll be fully healthy. That right side, that right side of the tackle position was probably one of those ones I was a little bit concerned of, because I think Trey Pipkins has a lot of positive upside. He can be a shutdown guy that's got quick feet. He can manage to, at the very least, contain guys, especially when you're going up against Chandler Jones and you're going up against Max Crosby. So you got to provide that protection as much as possible for Justin Herbert to distribute the football to every one of his weapons. So the offensive line looks completely solid. Now, here's the other thing, too. I think we're also getting ourselves yet another Rashawn Slater shut-down tackle guy in Jamari Salyer, because after watching him in the BCS National Championship game for Georgia, he just started laying people down on the defensive side of the football.
We got a super chat. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. Shout out to my big brother Wasted. Jake, how do you feel? How do you feel it being a content creator talking into a void? You guys have a grand total of 7 fans.
Wow. Hey, damn. Hey, look, respect to you, Wasted Talent, bro. It was awesome seeing you too, especially being up out here in Vegas, brother. I do appreciate you. But listen, there are fans around, man. Trust me. I know every single one of the Charger fans. We got diehard Bolt Club in Vegas, in California, and basically all around in the U.S. So you may not completely see us, but don't brush us off. We are there. We are literally there when you least expect it, man. But hey, shout out to you, bro. Respect to you, man. Appreciate it. And you put out some great content, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, look, you said all the Charger fans. Obviously, there ain't that much.
Of course I do, man. Of course. Hey, listen, I've got majority of Charger fans that are literally here in Vegas. I got a lot of them that are up over here. I know it's basically like reshaped culture of the Raiders in Vegas, but there are spurts of Charger fans left and right. I've seen them, but yeah, Jamari Salyer, as I mentioned before, if you watched him in the national championship game between Georgia and Alabama, that dude could literally throw guys on the ground. That's where I'm like, he's a real good shutdown tackle. So even if it gets to that point where he picks up on the right tackle spot, he's another really good guy to end up putting up on that line.
Shout out to G8 Patriot on the $9.99 super chat. And again, guys, for those that are just coming in that have not heard this during the live throughout this week, Majority of super chats, memberships, all that stuff are going to be going to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital for this month for Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. Doesn't have to be a lot. Doesn't matter what it is. Every donation counts. Appreciate you guys on the super chat. This is a question for Jake. What's it like supporting a team with no home field?
Man,
you knew what you were getting into coming into the black hole today.
I know I was, but you know what? I'd much rather be the only light in the middle of that black hole because any of y'all ever watched the Avengers? Do y'all remember the part where Thor literally came out with that hammer and he just completely destroyed everybody around him? That's what I'm doing.
Speaking of Thor, what up, brother? What up, Thor?
But hey, to answer the question, look. We have a saying with the Chargers, and it's called ASAP. ASAP is broken down of any squad, any place. It doesn't matter where in the hell that we are at. We could literally be up in Vegas, LA, or anywhere around in the league. The thing of it is that we are here to prove ourselves, and we're here to make a statement to the rest of the NFL. That's what ASAP has been all about. And to me, I've always been a huge fan of them since I was 7 years old. So I've seen this team on the good years and on the bad years. But to me, even having that move out of San Diego to Los Angeles, I personally wouldn't have done it. But I still choose to wear and rep my colors as strong as possible because I'm in it for the team. That's why I'm like, it doesn't matter where we are. As long as we show up and as long as we end up playing hard, that's what we want.
Shout out to Van City, all the way from the neighbors up north. Jake, in all honesty, brother, it takes balls stepping over here into the black hole. Respect, brother. Best of luck tomorrow. You're going to need it. Look, he came to our live stream at the Ahern in Vegas, and he got a shit ton of booze when he first walked in. But at the end of the night, everybody loved him. So shout out to him. Shout out to his soon-to-be wife, Cammie. Hi, Cammie. He's definitely he can wear that powder blue pewter, whatever the fuck that shit is, but he's still loved. He's still loved by us, regardless of the team that he roots for.
Oh yeah, no, that was a hell of an experience, man. You guys definitely held up a great party for sure, and for everybody here showing their supports up in Hammers.House, you guys are phenomenal. You guys are fantastic, man. And again, it just shows you from all 32 teams in the NFL how much of the fan base that they're truly invested. So, and it really goes to show, especially when you got parties like this and you guys are making a huge come up, supporting the team, and of course, supporting all the great content creators of all respected teams. It shows a lot. So it's very appreciative, and we thank all you guys for that.
LV right there. He can co-sign. Yes, sir. He took a lot of shit. He definitely did. Yo. So what is your prediction? Not for the game. We'll touch on that towards the end.
Yeah,
and we're going to be on for a little bit. So for those that are in the chat, you guys have any questions for either one of us? Feel free to ask. There ain't no stupid questions in here. Just ask away. What is your projection in regards to Justin Herbert this season?
I think this year you're going to witness it, but this is going to be an MVP year for Justin Herbert because of the fact of everybody on the offense has returned and they're back. There's been a couple of new pieces that have been introduced into this offense. Number one, they moved on from Jared Cook, the tight end. They now bring in Gerald Everett, who I do think is an underrated signing for the Chargers because they haven't found a quality tight end since Antonio Gates. Hunter Henry has been too much of injury prone. If you've actually seen Donald Parham in person, that dude is huge, bro. Like he's built for muscle and he's also built for speed too, which is insane. But he's definitely going to be the guy that provides quality blocks as a secondary lineman. And even at times where you need to get a first down or get somebody in the middle of the field, Donald Parham can very much be that guy. But I'm very interested to see how Gerald Everett really plays up. As, of course, everybody knows, too, the Chargers ended up signing Sony Michel as a secondary running back. So, to me, you have Austin Eckler, Isaiah Spiller, the newest rookie. You also have Josh Kelly, who really impressed a lot of people in preseason as being that number 2 running back by committee. And then there's Sony Michel, who's a very big time situational back who would give you, quality runs on third downs. We've seen what he can do in New England, and especially coming out of a Miami Dolphins offense that's built for speed. I was really surprised that Sony Michel ended up just let him go. So the Chargers are going to very much utilize the veteran experience, the uprising young stars that are going to be playing to their best of their years, and even new rookies that are just getting used to being in the NFL level. So this is an MVP caliber year for Justin Herbert, knowing he's got all of his weapons back, introducing some new weapons. And this is one that the Chargers, when you bring up all the talent, and living up in Vegas, man, when you're up there on the casino tables and you see somebody that's basically putting all their chips in and going, we're going all in, it's all or nothing because you got an MVP caliber quarterback, this is where you got to go all out. You got to get the best pieces possible to complement with a great quarterback like this. And especially too, next year is his contract year. So that's where this is why when I looked at this team and how we shaped up from the offseason and the draft, this is all or nothing. It's either getting to the championship or it's a bust at this point for the Chargers, because you cannot allow a MVP caliber quarterback like Justin Herbert, who we haven't seen in the playoffs yet, not make the playoffs, and then all hell breaks loose from there.
So I got a situational question for you now that you're talking about that, especially thinking that Herbert is MVP caliber quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
With this coaching staff, especially Staley and some of the shit that he has called, especially last year, and I know this is only week 1, but do you think if the Chargers do not make the playoffs, do you think Staley will be on the hot seat?
Oh, he'll be fired. He'll be fired if the Chargers end up making the playoffs again, or if they miss it. Because in the end, Brandon Staley is a defensive-minded coach, which a lot of Charger fans know that from the last 10 hirings, 9 of those coaches were offensive coaches. That also includes Norv Turner. And there's been some successful ones. There has been some terrible ones. I'm not even going to get you into the whole Mike McCoy years at all. And, you only have one good year with Anthony Lynn and then completely trended down. But Staley's been Staley has been a defensive-minded coach. And the last time that they've ever hired somebody out of the 10 hirings was the late, great Marty Schottenheimer, who went 14-2 with this team. Still never understand why exactly that the Chargers ended up letting him go, but that was the whole ownership and the general managing. But if they miss it again, Staley's gone. But here's the other positive end to that, because there's one coach that's definitely going to be lurking this entire time that's going to want to return back to coaching, and you know who I'm going to talk about. That's going to be Sean Payton. Sean Payton's going to literally look at this team, because first of all, look, for all hopeful Cowboy fans, you're not going to get him. He's not going to deal with Jerry's world, because look, they've had Bill Parcells, they've had a mixture of different coaches who honestly are not yes men. They're reasonable coaches who know how this team shapes up. So you think Sean Payton's going to honestly deal with Jerry Jones and all that? I don't think so. That's why I think Sean is going to literally look at what Justin Herbert brings to the table, because he's been around guys like Drew Brees, and he's going to see the talent and the upside potential that he has. And to even get this team up to the promised land, you got to have a coach who understands that and knows what to expect for an offense like this. So if it doesn't happen, Sean Payton's going to be lurking.
Going into tomorrow, who do you think has the better coaching staff overall? And be unbiased when you answer this.
If I had to think about that, because first and foremost, I mean, it is week 1 and it's it's unpredictable, as it always is to start the season. But if you had to look at the coaching staff itself, I personally think that there's parts of it the Raiders do have. Because one, you're talking about Josh McDaniels. You're talking about somebody who has returned back to the AFC West again after all of his failures that he had in Denver with Tim Tebow and with several other quarterbacks that he's also had in his tenure. So after that whole mess, even though they upset Pittsburgh in the playoffs in a massive win, but in the end, he goes back to New England and learns more from Bill Belichick. Maybe some of the things he didn't really catch on to because maybe he was too gun shy, but you are looking at a Josh McDaniels offense that could be very, very interesting. But I think everybody's going off right now, dude.
Yeah, and
got extended.
we have you know what's funny?
That's good. You know what?
Look, hold on.
That's good.
Hold on. Look at what I'm wearing right now. This shit is just, you can't make this shit up, yo. Let's go. Darren Waller, our tight end for the remaining foreseeable future of his NFL career, has been extended by the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
Holy shit. I'm getting
5
details.
years, 5 years, $66 million. That's the deal, bro. Wow.
Why am I getting? All right, so these are conflicting reports, Sam, because I'm getting 3 years, 51 mil.
Wow.
Guys, shout out to GA on the 499 super chat. I'm trying to highlight it. And shout out to Brian Rodriguez as well. Everybody's flooding in now with this. 5 years, $66 million. So does that include the 2 years that he's already locked in on the annual average of 7?
And what's the guarantees too? Because sometimes they do throw in the guarantees.
I gotta know, because it's funny. Like, my son Prez sent me a text with the information. He said 3 years, $51 million. Now, what's funny is, and you guys have heard me talk about this since I've returned in regards to you guys asking questions about the contract extension. And I've roughly said around the ballpark of probably 3 years between $49 to $51 million. So with the 2 years of 64, look, this is right around the ballpark that I fucking have talked about over and over and over again. I'm hoping maybe Darren Waller or Drew Rosenhaus was watching this as I was doing this over and over and over again. It's a great, great way to go into tomorrow. Congratulations.
Wow.
I'm extremely excited right now. He is going to be spending the rest of his career as a Las Vegas Raider. That is fucking amazing. Congratulations to Waller. Well-deserved. Now, please go out there tomorrow and ball the fuck out and stay healthy this entire season, brother. Congratulations, man.
Wow. I will have to say for this contract, and I will say for amongst all Raider fans, this was a good thing. This was a good thing for the organization for one thing. Now that solidifies now the whole topic of who was going to get the extension, Jacobs or Waller. Waller, to me personally, is most deserving of it. That dude is hands down the most humble person that you would have, especially on a hardcore Raiders organization. But he's definitely the best you got, especially when he's a reliable target for Derek Carr. That's very smart. It's because honestly, you have a running back by committee, so it's anybody's game for the Raiders. So this was smart. Congrats to the Raiders organization and for Darren Waller. What a signing. Unfortunately for us, we have to see Darren Waller every freaking year of that contract. And not to mention, you still have Travis Kelce up there. That's why I'm like, well, the Chiefs and the Raiders, they have their tight ends. So that's why it's up for us to honestly start to step up in that position specifically. So, but congrats to the Raiders and Darren Waller to at the very least get this deal done. That's smart. I like it, and I think now, as you're looking at it, this is, as you said in your live streams in the past, this is probably the most loaded team Derek Carr's had in his career. So, yeah, this is gonna be now. It's making it much more intriguing and interesting for tomorrow's game.
My brother Docs has said it over and over and over again, and a lot of other people have said it as well when it comes to this offense and the weapons that we have. It's really, truly going to be a pick your poison type deal. And I'm here for it, man. Like I've said it a couple of times in regards to these contracts and even the coaching staff. This is legit. They are building a plan right now. The plan, in my opinion, is about a 2 to 3 year plan, and it looks that way with a lot of these contracts. But I'm here for it. Jacobs is not coming back, unfortunately. And I know people in here probably don't want to hear that, but obviously we declined that 5th-year option for a reason. And he's probably going to look to get a bag elsewhere this year. So this is why we brought in guys like Britton Brown. This is why we drafted Zeus White. Those guys are going to be the featured running backs for our organization after this season. Drake got released, obviously. He wasn't really performing all that great in the preseason. And I said it, I think that ankle injury, any severe injury that any athlete encounters, it is always a mental thing when you come back from it. I've dealt with it with hamstring injuries. The concussions was not much of a thing that really I thought about, but the fucking hamstring injuries is something that was always a mental. I'm thinking I'm fully 100%. I'm ready to go. And then just overthinking, it fucking pops again, or I tear it, whatever the case may be. So, and I know I'm talking about the hamstring. Waller was going through the hamstring things, but I'm hoping this dude stays healthy. He deserves every bit of money that he's getting out of this contract. Again, for a whole bunch of people that are in this chat right now, fuck Clutch Sports. I really believe that they were trying to run the money up probably around the ballpark of what George Kittle signed 2 years ago with like a 5-year, $75 million deal, but it's not shit. Look, Waller has somewhat reset the market value again, but I guarantee you this coming offseason, you're going to have a guy out there like Mike Gesicki, and there's a couple other tight ends that are going to be out on that free agent market that are top guys that are going to get their bags. We saw Knox, Daryl Knox, not Daryl.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox. I'm sorry. I should just say Dawson's Creek. Dawson Knox just got a 3-year, $54.3 million contract, something like that. No, it's $53.6 million contract extension. And look, dude is a top 10 tight end, probably like ranked 8th. But it definitely blew my mind that he got his deal before Waller did. But look, Saturday morning, September 10th, 2022. I just said that's so stupid. Darren Waller got his extension finally, and it was well-deserved. So I'm extremely happy. Ram Raider said, thanks, Jake, for facing the nation. If you guys are watching this live right now, we are on a bunch of social media platforms. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. You guys want to join the conversation? You want to ask us questions? You want to ask my guest Jake questions? You have to subscribe to Hammers.House on YouTube. That's the only way you guys can get into this conversation and get in on the chat.
Fifth highest paid tight end. Wow.
Anthony said the dynasty starts now. Ignacio says we will miss Jacobs. Get Zach Charbonnet from you. Nah, we're good, man. We're good. And look, if we were to look to get another running back next year, the first person we would be looking at is Bijan Robinson, my guy out of
I was just about to say, yeah.
I cannot wait. We are less than a half hour away from kickoff between UT. The Texas Longhorns are facing Bama in Austin today. I definitely have to watch that game. I'm a huge UT fan. I'm really excited to see how this game pans out. I think people are going to look at it as like this is going to be a blowout, whatever the case may be. But I think it's going to be a fucking really well-fought game.
I think
Jake coming to hostile territory.
Hey, what's good? What's good, Halo Raider? What's up, man?
My brother's in here. Yeah. Halo, what is good, bro? Damn.
Dude, that's the coolest cat right there that I've met.
I love Halo, man. Halo's always got positive vibes. I fucking love that dude to death. I actually I meant to hit you up last night. I'm going to hit you up when I get off of here later on because there is something I needed to ask you because apparently NFL Sunday Ticket will not be working for me this year. Now that I've moved and DirecTV is all over the place, they're not allowing me to do the app or whatever for the season. So
No.
regardless, most of the games I'm probably going to be down on the Jersey Shore watching the games, but I got to find a way if I'm not going down there to watch the games now, and it fucking sucks that they did that to me.
Don't you have Dofu Sports?
I have the app on my phone, but in regards to if I wanted to live stream the games and shit, like, but I'm gonna figure something out because I think with YouTube TV, I think they have all our games as well. So I think I might have to do it that way.
Yeah, I think so. Because if I remember correctly, I know YouTube TV, and I think there was like one other spot too that had it. And a lot of people are saying get NFL Plus.
Yeah, but I don't think NFL Plus shows all the games live. I think it's like you could rewatch the games like the next day or whatever.
They're like reruns.
Yeah, I can't. The only way I'll use that is if I'm breaking down game film or like trying to deep dive into certain shit. Halo is going to the game tomorrow. As hot as it is in LA,
oh man,
are you actually going to wear the whole uniform tomorrow for that game? I'm real curious to know that.
Now, by the way, because of course, a lot of us in the West Coast, be careful of yourselves as well. You guys keep each other safe because we're supposed to be expecting that storm that's coming up south from Mexico. So you guys definitely, if you guys are up over there, like I said, best of luck to both of our teams, but be safe as well if you guys are going to be up over there at SoFi Stadium because, that storm's brewing, man. I heard a lot about it. We're supposed to be in Vegas getting at least some chunk of rain on our side. But it's definitely coming, man. So let everybody keep each other safe as well.
Brave, I have Paramount. I've had Paramount now for like over a year, and I don't remember an opportunity where I could watch a Raider game off of the Paramount app. So I don't know.
I did notice that, Ricardo, because YouTube TV, they have an 8-second delay. It does kind of suck, but
especially if you're live streaming a game and doing your own commentary, it sucks because people will be in the chat telling you, "Oh, this just happened!" Like you motherfucker, like come on, man.
Well, here's the funny thing because at least I have them, so in case of that does happen, like I don't kind of go off of that. I still do like my play-by-play, which, by the way, too, and that's just optional for any of you guys. My play-by-play reactions are back tomorrow, so I will definitely be doing play-by-play as well for Chargers Raiders. For those of you, it's definitely optional because, I'm so excited to even be bringing back play-by-plays again, man. It's been quite a long time.
What did I just missed something. I was just Ghost Sniper said, "Yo, don't forget we can franchise tag Jacobs." No, because the thing is, when it comes to the franchise tag, it's what the average annual salary of like a top fucking position player is. We're not going to fucking spend that type of money on him. There's no fucking way. Like, I do not see that happening. We could use that for a lot of other things. Look, we have Waller locked in now for another 5 years with us. The next person that needs to get a contract extension, in my opinion, and you guys know how much I love this dude just because he's a linebacker. I was a linebacker. Denzel Perryman, man. Scary Perry. 3-year, $20 million. That's what I am offering right now for him. I think he deserves it. I don't see why he wouldn't take a deal like that. And another guy that could finish his career as a Raider. You had him once upon a time. What do you think of him?
Honestly, man, I respect Denzel Perryman. And I'm happy of the fact that he's clicking on one team. Like, he bounced around from the Chargers and the Panthers to the Raiders. To me, it kind of stings because the fact that we had that type of linebacker who really is just very energetic, hyper athletic as well. But the problem of it is that there was just too many times where he was just injury prone. And I think part of that reason was just not shaping up the defense as we should have. So I'm very I respect Denzel Perryman. I love the dude. You know how I felt about Casey Hayward when he ended up going from the Chargers to the Raiders. I love him as a person, man. He's probably one of the most hands down to earth people. Denzel Perryman's a hell of a player, hell of an athlete. Honestly, he's a hell of a player. Once I watched him play with the Raiders, how much potential. You guys got a good one in that one because, again, stings for us Charger fans so much of what we possibly could have done if it was done the right way. But I'm happy to see that he's performing in a better organization, somebody that could utilize his strengths as well. So I'm happy for that.
Shout out to Ricardo and shout out to everybody else in the chat. Ricardo, I hope you're doing well, brother. Need to see if Perryman fits this system first and foremost. The funny thing is, Patrick Graham has already said like he is a perfect fit for this defense and the schemes that he likes to run. So that's another reason why I'm saying, hey, let's get this man his extension. Like I said, 3 years, $20 million. That's not going to hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
You're on an annual of a little over $7.5 million, like probably 7.75 a year. Like, why not? Like, the dude is a beast. He was a Pro Bowl last year. He missed 2 games, granted. Everybody was constantly talking about his health and this, that, and the third. Look, when the dude's healthy, obviously, he can ball the fuck out. He's a tackling machine. He almost broke the single season record, 4 tackles in a season. Had he not got hurt and missed those 2 games, he definitely would have broken that record. So I do believe that dude has been balling out. We got him for a 6th-round draft pick, y'all. We traded a 6 for him, and he has done his fucking thing. I'm telling you, running backs fear this man. He may end up putting another one on the cart this coming season, maybe a handful of them on a cart this year.
You can thank Carolina for that.
Absolutely.
But no, I'm kind of surprised of like, how could he not? He's I've already seen exactly how he engages against the rush and, of course, how he plays out on the field. He clearly fits this scheme. That's why I'm like, I don't see why he doesn't. But it would be a different story if they gave him like 4 years. 4 years, I'd be like, whoa, no. Hold on here. Because you're thinking about his injury history. You're thinking about, yes, does he fit that scheme, which he clearly does. As far as injury, he got him out of the way early on and to where he is now. So he's really is taking care of himself physically so that he stays more on the field. So there's that portion of it. But yeah, I think it's kind of, if you put it 4 years, that's kind of risky. But 3 years for sure, I think that makes a lot of sense.
We have 152 watching right now with only 63 likes, y'all. Y'all know the routine. Break
You
them
gotta keep
thumbs.
hitting that button. Keep hitting it.
And for those that don't know what break them thumbs means, it means hit that like button. And again, if you're on the outside looking in right now, wondering why you can't be in the chat, it's because you're not subscribed to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. You want to support me, you want to support the channel. The link for the membership and the link for the merch is pinned at the top. Let's get these fucking numbers up, y'all. We are truly on the road to 5K. Actually, we're getting closer to 4K, but 5K just sounds better. Actually, let's take a look real quick and see where we're at here. 2 away from 3,800, y'all. 2 away from 3,800. So we are 1,202 away from 5K. Hammer, I'm a big Perryman. Shout out to Brian Cuevas on the comment. Hammer, I'm a big Perryman fan. I still can't forget how Andy wants him gone. Yeah, I don't want to say the last 4 words. Pause. That's all I'm going to say. But shout out to my little bro, Andy. Yeah, he thinks that I have a huge love fest for Perryman. But like I said, the tail end of me playing football, the last few years I played linebacker and D end, and it's definitely a difficult position for people that really don't believe that. It's a lot of mental stuff, and it's a lot of keeping your head on a swivel for a lot of shit and just reading things and reacting as fast as possible. But Perryman, seeing him, what he's done for us, dude's a fucking freak of nature too. Mm-hmm. But he's a guy I definitely want around for another few years. So most definitely. Halo, you guys be blessed, fam. I'm out. I got my son's football practice to attend. Raiders! And just for you, I'm gonna do it. You better get used to that tomorrow.
Oh God, man! If you're gonna be secretively pulling out your phone and watching my play-by-play right from there, man. When you start hearing those lightning bolts and us shouting out Chargers each time when Justin Herbert throws a dart over there to Mikey Dub or Keenan Allen, which that does pose a question. How do you how do you honestly feel about this secondary for the Raiders, knowing Trayvon Mullen's gone? He's
Thank
gone to
God.
Arizona for a 6th round, which I was talking to a Chiefs content creator last night, and honestly, I felt the same way about Trayvon Mullen as I do with Daniel Sorensen. They were just absolute liabilities up on that backfield of the defense. So, how are you honestly feeling about this secondary? Because remember, you do not want to let anybody get their ankles hurt when Slayer is out there and he's running his routes and he's getting any way open, plus having to contain Mike Williams and Josh Palmer and so much loaded wide receivers on this Chargers offense.
I'm confident with our secondary. Again, Nate Hobbs is now starting on the outside in his 2nd season. I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him for what he has done thus far in his career. The only question mark I have right now, or like the one person I'm slightly nervous about at this point in time, is Jonathan Abram. Watched a ton of film on him, and we've all said it. I've had my 13-year-old cousin even said it, that he belongs in the box. I think if he doesn't adjust quick enough, especially to this new defensive scheme, then we'll most likely see Harmon out there a lot more than we will Abram. And if we use Abram, it'll probably be for blitzing situations and have him in the box. But I'm excited to see what these guys can do. Like Rock Ya-Sin last year had his best year in the league so far. He's going into the final year of his rookie contract. I do believe that he will end up getting an extension with us. I think that was a reason why he was brought in here, because he was going to be a guy that we were going to keep, and Trayvon Mullen was going to be gone. And look, he was gone a lot sooner than we all thought, but we had this ongoing debate. What can we get for Trayvon Mullen? And I said a conditional 6th or 7th, realistically, and within hours, that shit happened, and he was shipped off to Arizona. You will not be missed, bro. You couldn't stay healthy. You could never stay on the field. You're out there on IG lives, partying it up with thoughts on a boat and shit, and then you stubbed your toe, decided to wait months and months and months until you got the surgery done. It was just selfish, straight selfish bullshit. That good. Now he's not our circus, not our monkey. We don't have to worry about this no more.
I still recall the one game, especially when we were here at Allegiant Stadium, and how many times that Trayvon Mullen has just been burnt by Chargers wide receivers, including the one that got us downfield with Jalen Guyton as he was wide open. I'm like, Mullen, that's your duty. That's your job, man. And Jalen Guyton just getting wide open. Like, you cannot allow that to happen. So, I mean, at the end, you guys saved yourselves the liability on that defensive secondary, and you saved your guys yourselves the whole headache and heartache and all of that now that Trayvon Mullen's finally out.
Thank God. Go Sniper. Hammer, is there an over-under how many times the Chargers go for on 4th?
Honestly, I think it's going to be the under, because I do think that Brandon Staley, there's also a show that I've watched as well that's on YouTube that's all about the Chargers. And as I've ended up hearing from Brandon Staley, he's learning a lot of what pros he had from last season and the cons that he learned from, that he knows. He's like, I think we got a little too reckless, and I think at times we made mistakes. But he's confident in the fact of, one, you got to play to each opponent's strengths. So that's why coming into this Raiders game, I'm not going to see this 4th and 18 thing when you're way out in the backfield, which is ridiculous. If you want to play it right, play it smart. And then in the end, you still want to build open opportunities to get the Chargers in front and get scores, because you can't afford to have the Raiders get any of these guys open and start attacking you from midfield all the way downfield. So that's how I feel, honestly, how the Chargers should really take on this challenge in week 1.
Shout out to Beantown on the 199 super chat. Look at these two motherfuckers here. Cheers, fellas. Bobby, love you. I hope you're doing well, brother. I obviously, as we go further through the season, I'm going to have you on so we could do our matchup preview and talk shit back and forth to each other when we play your Patriots towards the tail end of the season. But salute to you, bro, and I hope all is well. Tyreek Hill and no Tyreek Hill in division helps our secondary. That's a fact.
Yes,
goes
Sniper.
What Colin's calling a timeout is ruining us.
Yes, that is the con. Look, I've said it over and over again, especially when I watch this game with my pops and yet another fellow Raider fan. And I also had a Charger fan there with me too that night. And calling that timeout, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because if anybody knows, Hammer knows this too, especially playing in football. You score with 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter, you go for the kill. You go for the win. You don't give any kind of leverage or leeway, especially when it's a division rival. You just don't do that. Like, that's one of the things that I think Brandon Staley learned a lot the most, because that's when you don't take any games easily. If you're there and you have that opportunity, I mean, good God, we did this. What's weird is we did this to the Chiefs. The second we ended up scoring and going for the 2-point conversion to getting the lead, that's where Mike Williams was the Chiefs killer. And I'm like, I don't know why that we don't end up doing that. Because if you truly want to make a statement in this league, you play to their strengths and you take every opportunity that you have right in front of you, especially when you're down by only just the 1 and you go for that 2. I'd be going for the 2. I would be telling my guys, they are on their toes. They are on their heels. We're going to knock them off their feet and we're going to win. That's honestly, as a head coaching perspective, that's how I would have approached that.
I think that Staley is kind of stuck probably at home or even in his office playing Madden and dialing up shit using Madden, because some of the stuff that he's done, some of his play calling has been very, very questionable. And you've said it. He is a defensive-minded coach, but then where's the brains behind the offense then? Because what you guys did last year was just a shit ton of head scratchers, and like even Herbert's face was priceless in that last game. I never wanted to tie so badly. Y'all fucked up big time with that shit.
But again, that's lesson learned, because why would you want to reason with a division rival? They're called rivals for a reason. There's mutual respect between both teams. But if you want to be serious in getting Justin Herbert into the playoffs, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's all or nothing at that point. But to me personally, like with the offensive schematics, because I was a little skeptical about how Joe Lombardi was going to move this offense, because you know me personally and what I've said several times, I wish the Chargers would have never got rid of Shane Steichen. I really wish they would have never got rid of him, because I think watching him calling the offensive plays with Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles, like they're getting the best potential off that offense and off of Jalen Hurts. That's why I don't understand why people are kind of like, high expectations on Jalen Hurts. Yes, you got A.J. Brown and all the rest of it, but he's going to be fine. Like if Steichen really mans this play, like this whole playbook and mans the offense, he's going to lead them to where this offense is lethal. That's why I was like with Joe Lombardi, knowing he's got experience with New Orleans and with Drew Brees and how that offense was set, I was still kind of skeptical because I didn't want a type of conservative offense each time. Like that's not what any of these high-powering offensive teams would honestly do. They would not be the conservative type where if you ain't got an opportunity to sling it and to literally go for that opportunity, then what are you doing? Like you want to get the best potential out of Justin Herbert. Let him play his game because he's the game manager. We've seen that even in the fourth quarter when time was ticking and my blood and my heart was pumping in that last 4 seconds. And for him to throw that much needed touchdown against the Raiders, that was one I was literally amped for. Like that's what you live for. Let him control the game. That's the way you have to play it.
You play to win the game.
Yes, you do.
Damn. So I'm gonna go both sides, offense
Mhm.
and defense. Who are your 3 X factors going into tomorrow's matchup?
All right. So my 3 X factors, at least for offense and for defense. Offense, it's no question that it's Justin Herbert. He's definitely going to be the X factor in the game. It's an MVP caliber year this year. He's going to be the one that's going to want to go off this year. Another X factor of mine, which not a lot of people really do talk a whole lot about, but Josh Palmer. He's going to be somebody that, after Tyrell Williams, which, yes, the Raiders ended up getting him the last time, and that didn't pan out well until they shipped him out to Detroit. He's kind of like a Tyrell Williams-esque, maybe a little better. A really good underrated pick out of Tennessee. I think Josh Palmer's really going to end up getting the best of his potential this year. You're going to see some spurts where he's really going to fill in any hole that the Chargers need. And I think the other X factor as well, I truly think it's going to be this offensive line, because the way that the right side was the biggest concern that I have. Like that's one that they have to solidify. The left side with Rashawn Slater and with Matt Filer and Corey Linsley there, that's good. That's good. It's good enough for me. Zion Johnson in that right guard spot is perfect, but it's that tackle position I keep thinking about every time. So I think Trey Pipkins, with the way he played in the preseason, he's going to be good. Defensively, and it's funny that you literally pointed out about game film with the secondary. But I'm going to tell you right now, if we literally watch Jalen Ramsey get toast against Josh Allen and that Bills offense, Derwin James is not going to do that. He is not going to end up doing any of that, because to me, J.C. Jackson being doubtful, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not giving my hope on that, because honestly, I would love for him to show up in this type of game, but we'll see how the ankle feels. But Derwin James has a really good committee. You forget they ended up signing an underrated corner in Bryce Callahan from the Denver Broncos, who is clearly a shutdown type corner. You got Mike Davis, who's back for another year, which I do hope he proves it this year after he had a letdown season, and Asante Samuel Jr. in his second year. I expect him to play a lot of man-to-man coverage. So Derwin James will definitely be that X factor on that secondary side. I do think there's 2 guys up front that I really am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing how Morgan Fox really plays on this front, because I've watched tapes of him in 2020 with the Rams defense when Brandon Staley was the defensive coordinator there. My God, was he getting past the offensive line simultaneously? And that's with Aaron Donald. That's with Sebastian Joseph Day. That's with a really good core defensive line. So Morgan Fox, to me, very underrated. He's going to be somebody that's going to either stop the run or he's going to end up getting to the quarterback, which let's just see how that guard position really plays out for the Raiders in this offensive line. I love Colton Miller. I think he's very solid. I do think there are a couple of pieces that the Raiders do have, but clearly Alex Leatherhead was a reach pick. And honestly, and for him to go from the Raiders to the Bears, dude, he's like the younger version of a Jason Peters past his prime.
I looked at him as the equivalent to Eric Flowers when Eric Flowers was with the New York Giants. Just fucking big fucking disappointments and huge bust. Pause. I think we have a Charger fan in here because he's talking a whole bunch of shit. Carr's a top 25 to 20. Like, dude,
come on.
Meth is a terrible drug. Put the pipe down.
It's very bad.
Carr is going to be within the top 5 for MVP candidate talks this coming season. Mark my words on that shit. So and honestly, for you to say he's a top 20 to top 25, you're high right now, dude. No, but thanks for coming on in and chatting it up.
I'm going to say this honesty with literally everybody up onto this chat, but people need to stop throwing shade at Derek Carr. I'm being really serious about this because, first of all, if Derek Carr was to leave the Raiders organization, who do the Raiders got? You're going to tell 16 more quarterbacks again until you end up getting your franchise quarterback? Because, I mean, you go through after Rich Gannon, you go through Matt Tuiasosopo, Andrew Walter, Matt McGloin, freaking you go through Carson Palmer, you go through Jamarcus Russell, you go through a lot of these guys. Like you go through a lot of these quarterbacks. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you go through all these quarterbacks. Like for real, stop throwing shade at Derek Carr. He's honestly, in statistics and his instinct, has been getting better year after year. And it's his 6th head coach in 9 years. Can you really blame the guy? Honestly, like I may speak as far as just like knowing it's a division rival in the Raiders, but seriously, I got much respect for Derek Carr. Like, let him enjoy the Vegas moment. For real. Like, I tell you one thing, my sister and brother-in-law, my brother-in-law's a youth pastor, and Derek Carr's kids goes to that church school that he works at. Like, he's this dude, he's down to earth. Doesn't talk much, but he's so down to earth. He's got great kids, man. Like, let him enjoy the experience, man. For real. Stop throwing shade at Derek Carr. Like, he's proved himself. He's a top 10 quarterback.
I'm going to give you guys my X factors on offense and defense. I'm going to start with the offense first. I'm just going to go off the names, and then I want to see your guys' thoughts in the comments. Hunter Renfrow, our offensive line, and Zamir White. Those are my 3 on the offense. Again, I know it's kind of a head scratcher talking about Zeus, but you guys will see why. Defensively, our front 4, because I'm real excited, but also curious to see what the front 4 is going to do. Patrick Graham, because of we have a new D coordinator, I want to see the schemes and see what he's going to do. So I'm throwing him in as an X factor. I know he's not a player. And my last one, Nate Hobbs. I want to see what he does. I want to see him shine at the outside cornerback position for the first time. So those are my X factors going into tomorrow. What is your prediction for tomorrow?
So I think when I looked at this game in the bet line, I believe it was Chargers favor 3.5 in this game. Yep. I'm taking it because I do think that both these teams. Now, the Chargers, what they have to deal with is that they got to deal with back-to-back weeks of division rival matchups, because we got this game on Sunday, and then we got 3 days rest before we have to face the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. So that's going to be probably the toughest challenge the Chargers are going to have to face up against. But I'm gluing my eyes for tomorrow's game. As I've said, play-by-play reaction as well is back, so I'll be calling that. I unfortunately will not call the Kansas City Chiefs game on Thursday because, funny story, but cool story, my fiance and I, we are flying out to her hometown in Parker, 30 minutes close to Denver, Colorado, where she's from, for her friend's wedding. And yes, I'll be in Bronco country because we know how all of us really feel about those donkeys down there. So I'll be there, but I will still glue my eyes to that Kansas City Chargers game as well. So I do like what both these teams on these offenses have looked and what they've shaped like. Raiders finally have a solidified number 1 wide receiver in Devontae Adams since they had Amari Cooper, in my opinion. But Devontae Adams is the real thing. And for having Darren Waller to finally extend for him, which is a good thing for the Raiders, this is the most loaded offense that Derek Carr has ever had in his career. Now, what is he facing up against? He's facing up against a defense that's completely reshaped, refocused, and upgraded. The other X factor I was going to say too, Kyle Van Noy. I'm excited to see how he plays out at the linebacking core because
I fucking wanted him here, man.
Because the linebacking core for the Chargers has not shaped up well. And this is why I'm like, good for y'all to having Denzel Perryman and for him to click in this organization. I'm happy for him, but that is something the Chargers have been desperately needing. So having a veteran voice to be around Drew Tranquill and with Kenneth Murray, which Kenneth Murray needs to prove himself this year. So this is why I'm like, I'm kind of interested to see how this veteran presence play. And I think with this team, defenses, I would love to see how this Raiders secondary really plays out against this Chargers loaded offense as well, and how Justin Herbert really distributes the football. I think the run game, I'm paying close attention to that new Chargers run defense, because I'm going to speak this out like Remember the Titans. I do not want the Raiders to gain another yard. Whether you do blitz or you don't, I need this whole line to be a complete wall. I want them to literally hit bricks each time when they even dare test that line. That's where I am with the Chargers, and it's a prove it year for this organization. We are tired of being pushed around. We are tired of being doubted in this league, and we're tired of being those redheaded orphan stepchildren in this league that we got no respect for. We are tired of it. It's time our statements are made. So I love this game. 3.5. Like it. I love it. I'm going to take the points on that one, and I think it's going to be a 28-24 Chargers strike in SoFi Stadium in the opener against those haters.
There better not be any lame-ass excuse of a thunderstorm or something going on around that fucking stadium fucking delaying the game again. That was some true fuckboy shit. But anyways, all right, so here are my 3 points before I give my prediction. Like I said before, as my X factor, I have Zeus with McDaniels run by committee running back depth chart. I think that we're going to see some looks from Zamir White tomorrow. I think he's actually going to have a fairly decent game. I'm not saying he's rushing for 100 yards, but I think he will get some looks and put some serious work in. I think defensively, Max Crosby is going to get after Justin Herbert. Last year wasn't so great. 8 sacks last season. He's had 25 total since coming into the league. But I do believe with this defensive line that we have now, I think that Max is going to put Herbert on his ass a couple of times here and there. My other, Derek and Devontae, you're going to be seeing circa 2013 Fresno Bulldogs. They're going to connect. I think they will connect for a touchdown tomorrow. We get this win. It's going to be a very tight game. I really do believe that. But I think we still walk out with the win. And we'll probably be hearing this a couple of times. I have us winning 28-27. Let's go.
Man, I am honestly going to love this. I'm really going to love this, bud. And you know you better keep that phone close to you, man, because each time when we start getting those scores, each score consists of a lightning bolt. So you're gonna
be live tomorrow, right?
I am.
I'll probably call you, or even just send me the link, and I'll pull up while I'm at Bar A with the rest of the Raider Nation at Bar A. So when certain things go on, I'll pull on up. We'll make some fun out of your live.
Absolutely, man.
Alabama and Texas just started. Alabama has the ball to start. I'm so excited to be watching this game right now. Like, normally the one game I'm always excited about every year is the Red River rivalry.
I hope Texas puts up a fight, bro. They truly need it.
I'm nervous. That's a false start. But I'm excited to watch this game right now. And I know there's probably people in here that are going to be going Roll Tide. But
if Bama gives up 24 points to Texas, Bama better be concerned. Because
I got to find your YouTube channel real quick so I can put it in here for everybody to see. Where the fuck is it? I just looked you up like yesterday too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I needed to add. Actually, if you guys are watching on YouTube, his links are all in the description. I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, I think they were up in the description.
I had to make sure to take care of my brother today, and I'm so happy that you're on. Like, bro, it's been a very long time since we've done the live together.
Oh, I know.
And
the
I did tell people I'm thinking about going back outside of the box. Here's Jake's link right here. Guys, he covers the Chargers, unfortunately, but he also covers the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Oakland A's. I know we got a lot of people out here in here that are from the West Coast that are A's fans. So definitely please subscribe to his channel. You'll not be disappointed on his content. Obviously, the dude's got the voice for this. He sounds like a professional sports broadcaster. So definitely check out his stuff, and super knowledgeable as well. So definitely, guys, please subscribe to his channel. Yeah, I'm thinking about potentially calling some of the MLB playoff games, particularly, the Mets and maybe
I
even
was
the
like, how could you
Dodgers as
not?
well. But I definitely, if we can link up, I would absolutely love to call the games with you, bro.
Oh, absolutely, brother. I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I love how they're
LB
giving you a hard time about the house. Like, you have silver and black in the background, but you're a Chargers fan. Yeah.
But you know what though? Hey, I do have to agree that these curtains from here, man, they really do help a lot, especially with the sun that we get out here in Vegas. So, Maximus, our goaltender for the Golden Knights this year, it's going to be rallied around Logan Thompson, first of all, because everybody in Vegas keeps throwing shade at Robin Leonard, which I don't understand, because out of everybody in this league, there's no other solid goaltender as far as you need stops than Robin Leonard has. I don't need him to be a flurry. I need him to just be a productive goaltender. So Logan Thompson, he's going to get all the help. I can't even believe that the Knights landed Phil Kessel. Like, I can't even believe that we got a veteran forward who's finally going to show these guys what it means to score. So I think that's what it's going to be. The Golden Knights, same similar way. It's make it or break it year. They cannot afford to miss the playoffs for the second straight year, because you change coaches. This is our third head coach now in 6 years that the Golden Knights have. And I like Bruce Cassidy. I think he really works well with this type of style. And people that say Pete DeBoer is a terrible coach, stop that. Like, Pete DeBoer had his opportunities. Just everybody never gave him the chance. If I'm really going to point the finger on a disappointing season, it's probably going to be at Kelly McCrimmon, because that is going to be the one guy I am like, we have all these pieces, and why do we seriously underachieve? That's who I'm pointing the finger at, is Kelly McCrimmon. He's either going to make this work or he's out. I would want him out as a general manager, because there's no reason we make the Stanley Cup final in year one and we are not trending towards the direction, which, by the way, the Las Vegas Aces are in the WNBA finals. So I'm like, and they've been in it this is the third time now that the Aces have been in the finals. So I'm like, you got to make a trend in Vegas. You have to. And I know for your Raider fans in this chat, you guys know that you guys are also on the spotlight as well here in Vegas. So if the Aces are getting in it, the Golden Knights need to step it up. And I think at times too, we know that the Raiders have definitely made some moves, but that's how you got to play it in this this money market. You have to play it to that way.
Oh man, bro, I appreciate you pulling on up. I'm gonna run because I see my brother Wasted is now doing his 5K celebration. He's got a shit ton of people in there. That's why everybody seems to be flooding right now.
I'll
you
definitely tap in and congratulate him, man. I'm glad that he actually came into the chat as well early on.
I definitely appreciate you pulling on up, bro. We will definitely be talking. Like I said, if I can, I will try to pop up during your live tomorrow. But it was great seeing you. It was great talking to you. It was great to have you back on here, man. Now you're in the vault for the very first time. So
that's kick ass, dude. I love how you set up the vault, man, for sure.
And we're not done. We still got a lot of stuff we got to do. We really got to flood this room with a lot more Raider stuff. So we will be getting to that soon. But bro, it was a pleasure, and I will definitely be talking to you soon.
Absolutely. And for those, of course, in the chat, just to kind of wrap things up real quick, my of course, my link is in the description as well. But if you guys, seriously, whether Chargers, not any of that, but if you guys, we know are all sports fans, you guys love sports and you guys love entertainment, the Snake Sports Talk Show is definitely the house for that. I talk literally every hot topic that's all around in sports, baseball, football, hockey, and of course an NBA and much, much more. I'm on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. That is where you can like, follow, subscribe, and hit the bell button for all latest notifications to keep you up to date on future and past shows. And of course, in the works, a Chargers content stream is going to be coming up soon as well to be talking strictly LA Chargers. So I will have that coming up soon as well. So, but I do appreciate you guys. I do appreciate everybody up into the chat. It's been real with you, bro. And I know, like I said, at least I'd be the only one shining in the middle of this black hole that I'm in. But hey, it's been an absolute pleasure. Absolutely loved everybody up in here. And bolt up. Bolt up Sunday.
We'll talk soon, bro. Be safe.
Hell yeah, man. You too.
Later. All right, so that was Jake the Snake Silva, the Snake Sports Talk Show. That was very, very fun. And more breaking news. I don't know if it's, well, I'm a Raider content creator, so I guess it is Raider news. We did hit 3,800, y'all, so we're a little under 1,200 away from 5K, a little under 200 from 4K. Appreciate you guys, all the love, all the support, man, through and through. And ever since I've come back, we've really come out the gate swinging, and I just couldn't be happier to keep doing what I'm doing for you guys. Tomorrow, well, tonight, maybe I might be doing UFC 279. Again, you guys know the card has changed tremendously. 6 fighters, few not making weight. There were a couple alterations with the matchups. I might be jumping on to do the UFC fight tonight. Tomorrow morning, I got to reach out to Pastor Raider. I think it's going to be recorded. We're supposed to get a morning prayer from Pastor Raider, and then I will be live before I go to Jersey, down the Jersey Shore rather, doing our fantasy start sit-ems. So you guys can call on in, you guys can ask in the chat and get your lineups ready, right and ready to win in week 1, and probably do a little game day preview before I head down. I will be down at Bar A down in Lake Como, New Jersey, watching the game with the New Jersey Raider Nation Black Hole chapter, and former Raider legend Phil Villapiano is actually going to be in the building. So I'm hoping the opportunity I can meet him, chat it up with him, and just have a good time watching us win. Guys, continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is still around. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Much love. Oh, yeah. And if you haven't already on your way out, break them thumbs. The ones that are still on the outside looking in, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for all your Raider Nation news, rumors, updates, and reactions right here in the official, the original, the only